Welcome to the Sustainable Success Show, where we share real-world ideas, strategies, and systems to help you build success that lasts in business and life. Each episode delivers practical insights you can apply immediately without burnout, chaos, or short-term fixes that don't scale. At the foundation is emotional intelligence and effective communication, how you lead yourself and how you connect with others across personalities, generations, and cultures, because that's where trust, engagement, and performance are created. I'm Christopher Salem, your host, and this is where sustainable success becomes your competitive advantage. Hi, welcome to the Sustainable Success Show. I'm your host, Chris Salem. Hope everyone is having a great week. We want to thank you, new listeners, for finding us here. Again, we encourage you to follow us on YouTube, since we now have a video portion of the show since January of this year, and we've been on the air for over 9 years. So you can also watch us on Spotify, Apple, as well as Amazon Prime Music and iHeart. And we encourage you also to follow us on our Facebook page at Sustainable Success 2017. Today's show is being brought to you today by Alumni Direct. Alumni Direct is a social media community platform dedicated to bringing alumni together from all different generational types and an opportunity to meet new people for the first time. Now, it is a membership program taking out all the noise out of social media. You get to generate genuine and authentic relationships with the people you choose to interact with. If you'd like some more information about Alumni Direct, check them out at alumnidirect.com. That's alumnidirect.com. Well, we are excited today. We're going to be talking about not just traditional goal setting. We're going to be talking about a way that we can now goal set in ways that we've never heard of before. And I cannot wait for this episode. So our today's topic is going to be why traditional goal setting fails and what we can do instead. So we are going to be here with Misha Saidov. He is the founder of the Institute of Metacognitive Programming, a global training and practice ecosystem that has reached more than 150,000 people across 93 countries. Before founding the Institute, he held leadership roles in strategy, sales, and marketing, and earned an MBA from the School of Business. His work focuses on identity, trauma, relationships, and the patterns that shape human behavior. Misha's ability to bridge personal transformation with practical understanding would make for a thoughtful conversation on self-awareness and lasting change. And without further ado, we welcome Misha Saidov to the show. Misha, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me.
We are such a pleasure to have you here. And I'm looking forward to today where you're going to be talking about goal setting. So before we begin, we always like to get into the backstory about, this topic you're going to talk about, like what, really what you're going to share with us, what led you up to really, give us a better understanding why goal setting isn't where it should be and where we could be doing it better moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I will have to go really back in time to my childhood. And my mother, she's an Olympic coach. She trains Olympic athletes. And till now, she's doing it for like 50 plus years now. And her athletes are world champions, like multiple world champions and Olympic Games winners. And I would spend every day as a kid with her literally in the swimming pool, seeing how she trains these incredible female athletes. They usually would come at the age of 4, 5 years old. And then around 14, 15, they would start performing at world-class level. And to train someone like that, you have to be a psychologist, a behavioral change professional, but also an incredible coach and athlete yourself. And, back then, as I watched my mother, I sort of knew what I want to do when I grow up. And then I got trained in all types of coaching and psychotherapeutic modalities, classical coaching, executive coaching, neurolinguistic programming, dialectical behavioral therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, like you name, and probably I got a certificate or license from the institute or place. So now I'm doing this work for many, many years. I've built a quite incredible organization with 65 plus professionals, coaches, and therapists working for me. And we conduct between 2,000 and 4,000 coaching sessions every month.
Wow.
And originally, when I was getting trained in coaching, it was, well, it was like almost 18 years ago. The whole coaching industry was pretty much about goal setting and accountability. And we used to say that coaching is about your results in future, while therapy is about your past. That's how we separated coaching from psychotherapy. And I did believe in this paradigm, and I was working with my clients. They would come to me, and I knew so many things, so many frameworks about how to set a goal and how to keep one accountable to reach this goal, how to plan it, how to make it smart, how to make it grow, and things like that. Like all the frameworks that were ever created, I used. And eventually, I noticed one thing. People who knew how to achieve a goal and how to plan for it, and those who had enough discipline to achieve this goal, they would have achieved the goal with or without me as a coach. And these people usually didn't hire me. And then those who didn't know how to plan, how to set a goal, how to achieve a goal, they hired me, but there was not much of a success. Now, you might say, well, that's because I suck as a coach. Unfortunately, I don't think so. That's not the reason. So, when it comes to planning and achievement and having enough willpower and discipline, because this is what you need. You need to have enough willpower and discipline to set up a good goal for yourself, like ambitious goal. We call it like BHAG, big, hairy, ambitious goal, right? And then achieve it. You need to have a trait that is called conscientiousness. And this is one of the 5 traits from ocean: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, accommodation, and neuroticism. So conscientiousness is one of those traits. And the higher you are in conscientiousness, the easier it is for you to plan and achieve things. Now, people are different, and some people are highly conscientious, and some are average, and some people are low in conscientiousness. So I would say that 80% would actually fall in the middle. It would be just average in conscientiousness, meaning that some things are easy. For example, it might be easy for you to work 9 to 5, but then when you come home, it's not easy for you not to open the fridge and eat chocolate, right? So you can be a pretty good employee, but you suck when it comes to your diet. Now, the way you can see highly conscientious people among the audience is that, let's say you're looking at a woman and she's roughly 50 years old. And she is lean and almost like to the point of being athletic. And she's very concentrated, like very focused and very structured. And you can see she's a good planner. This is how you know you're looking at highly conscientious person.
Yeah.
Okay. So now for her, goal setting and planning and achievement will work, and she doesn't need a professional like myself. She's fine. Mm-hmm. She's gonna do it on her own. Actually, she might be even better at helping someone to set a goal and achieve it than myself, because my conscientiousness is not that high. So for the rest, of us mortals, 95% of people, goal setting doesn't really work because we don't have the necessary trait for it. So the question is, okay, if that's, and the problem is that we are trying to look at these 5% of highly productive, highly structured people, and we look at them and we're like, oh, they are doing the right thing. This is the way it is done. And if I cannot make myself follow the structured plan, it means that I just suck, that I am weak, I don't have enough, discipline, I don't have a good willpower, and there is something wrong with me. So we are sort of pathologizing ourselves when we compare ourselves to this top 5% of highly conscientious people. Now, this woman that we are looking at, she actually has a few problems that we do not have. First of all, is that she's not really adaptable. If we take her and throw her into a chaotic environment, oh my God, she will be stressed. Now, if you take me and throw into a known environment, I'm gonna thrive there. Mm-hmm. I will adapt to all random things really, in a matter of like not even hours, but minutes. That woman, highly conscientious woman, will never be able to do that. And that's the reason that we gotta be different. That's the reason that universe created us different. So some people are highly adaptable and some not, right? Now, the way I'm paying with like the cost of this adaptability is that, well, I'm not a good planner, but I know how to react in the moment. I'm the person everyone goes to when, how they say, when shit hits the fan.
Yes.
Right? Now, I do suck when it comes to logistics. So the question is, how do you help this 80% of people? And you need to create a different system for them, which is not about the goal, but actually about the process. So when we think about wayfinding in life, most of people, 80% of people, should find their way in life not by setting a goal, but by listening to the resonance in their bodies. So let me explain this with a metaphor. Imagine that you want to land on the moon, and you say, okay, this is my goal, and I have to do it, and this is the plan, and I'm going to achieve it in 5 years, and if every year I do X, Y, Z, this is like the stages, eventually I will get there. The problem with this approach is that the moon is not calling you. You sort of created this invitation for yourself without feeling the resonance of moon calling you to land on it. Now, that might sound a little bit esoteric, so stay with me. It's not that esoteric if you think about it. We know when the goal is calling us if the path towards this goal is highly enjoyable for us. If it's not enjoyable, let's say if I need to lose weight, and in order to lose weight, I need to sit on a diet that I hate, it means this goal is not calling me.
Very good
and
point.
Only highly conscientious people will be able to do it. 80% of everyone else, no, they're not going to do it. Because this goal is not calling them. You see? Yeah. But let's say that it's not that I want to lose weight. It is just that I love moving my body every day. So suddenly the goal of losing weight becomes a byproduct of a bigger destination that is calling you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So the idea is simple. There is the goal setting or there is a path finding. And path finding is much more powerful approach to life than goal setting. Okay, I'm gonna stop here because I have much more to say, but I'm gonna stop. Let's digest and then you have
That was some great points, and I can 100% support that. Like you said, there's conscientious people, there's people who get to the point, results, or there are people care about who it impacts before the results, or some people are systematic versus analytical, and while there's similarities there too, but nonetheless, yeah, like how you approach it, and somebody who's process oriented is more likely to break down those goals more specifically than somebody who says, I just got to get those results, and maybe are not going to be as specific. So yeah. And then the drive behind it. Yeah. So there, yeah, there's so many different variables. What would you share? Here you're speaking to an audience that there could be there's gonna be different personality types here, generational types, cultural and ethnic types. But if we were to look at it just like, people that say, hey, I really do want to get more serious with my goal setting, where would you start with them? What would that look like? Again, you can't, if you try to get somebody to do all the things up front and be successful at it, it's probably unlikely. But if that first step we can start to work on and then getting better, what would that look like if you could share with our audience?
So first of all, we need to understand that majority of people, like 80% of people, are wayfinders, not goal setters. And this is really, really important. The moment when the wayfinder tries to live like a goal setter is when they depart from their soul. And when they start feeling depressed and they think that, hey, I'm not living my own life and something's wrong here. But they don't really understand that the reason they feel that way is because they are trying to believe that they are goal setters, and the reason it's not working for them is because there is something wrong with them. So the first step is to understand whether you're a goal setter or a wayfinder, because the systems, how you navigate life, are going to be so different. Like, the categories are so vastly different from each other that you can really confuse yourself with how to live. Okay. Now, if you ask me about the goal setters and what is the best way for goal setters to set up goals, and the way I help them is by explaining that they are mimetic goals and genuine goals. Think about this idea by René Girard about mimetic desires. And the mimetic desire is when I want something that you have, not because I truly want it, but because you have it.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I see my neighbor driving in a red Ferrari and he looks really cool and the car looks really cool, suddenly I would like to check the cost of the price of the Ferrari on the website and see if I can, have something similar for myself, not because I really want it or need it, but because the other guy has it.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that, I love this quote, and it says that for some reason, the desires between, or, if you compare the top politicians in Russia to the head of mafia, to some incredible, highly famous athlete, for some reason, they all have the same taste. They like beautiful women, beautiful cars, and really expensive champagne, right? Like, for some reason, they all have similar desire. And the question is, why so? Why they have to be so similar in what they want. And this is basically comes back to the idea that if monkey sees other monkey with a banana, monkey wants the banana. And the first step is to understand whether this is your goal or not, and how you were influenced by what you were influenced to have this goal. Once you know whether it's sincere, and the way I probe or I test whether the goal is mimetic or sincere is by asking questions like, what if nobody knew that you achieved that? Would that still be valuable for you? Like, what if nobody knew you have a Ferrari? Like, you never could show it to anyone and you had to drive it like alone on the island and nobody was there. Like, would you still buy it?
Yeah.
Right? Or I would say, what would you do if you had all the money in the world, all the freedom in the world? What would you do if you died tomorrow or lived forever? Like, by probing with different questions, I can actually see whether, like, the shades of desire, like the shades of the goal, and see whether it's really sincere, whether it belongs to them, or they just saw another monkey with the same thing and now they want it for themselves. Or maybe their parents told them that, okay, if you do that, we will finally love you and we'll finally accept you for who you are. Okay, so that's when it comes to the goal itself. And then the next question is to see how you actually get to the goal by making what steps and what type of steps you're making. For example, some people, they have to publicly manifest this step before making it.
Yeah.
So they use other people as accountability to force themselves to make a step. Some people, they would like to make those steps in quiet. So all of those things are things that you need to be aware of about yourself and do what fits you, not how other people think that you should work. But again, this is just for very few people who are goal setters, not wayfinders. Again, everyone else is just a wayfinder and they gotta work completely differently.
It's a very interesting way to look at it. And I hope the listeners that you let that sink in. So important. And because, yeah, that was a great distinction, Misha. Is there, are these these people that are like that, are they capable of being molded into being better goal setters with the right guidance and training? Or is it just something that, it is what it is?
No, they should forget about goal setting and tune into wayfinding. That's the way how they should live.
Got it.
Yeah.
And if it's a wayfinding, is it more, like you said, they have to tap into that purpose and keep, knowing that the
no
way.
Yeah. So wayfinding works. Do you remember this game that we played in the childhood? It was warmer, cooler. Like,
well, I think I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, like your friend will hide an object from you, and you enter the room, and as you move towards the direction where the object is, they will tell you, "Oh, warmer," right? If you're going away from that, they will say colder or cooler.
Colder, yeah.
Yeah. So the wayfinding works exactly that. You gotta start moving. And as your body and your soul resonates more, that's how you know you're moving in the right direction. So you need to tune into the truth of your body.
The truth of your body, the intuitiveness. Yeah, got it. Really great point. Now that I think it's like you said, the conscientious person is going to be more into the logical side, analytical, kind of just like traditional goal setting, how they break things down. In this case, breaking it down even more, but that makes sense. with the time we have on the show, because we were only a half an hour show, what else do you feel that you haven't shared that because I think that distinct what you the Werebringer in the traditional goal setter is critical. I think that provided so much clarity. What are some other things you could share to kind of really just drive this episode home with what
Yeah,
you shared today with
I,
us?
since most of the people, even if they are logical, it doesn't mean they're not wayfinders. But most of the people who's going to listen to this show, they're probably going to be wayfinders, not goal setters. And like for everyone who's listening to us, trust me, you will be very, very happy once you understand how to navigate life as a wayfinder versus a goal setter. Like you will be so much happier. It's just like unbelievable, because this is the only way to get to the edge of your maximum potential in life.
Yeah.
And the only way to live your true life that actually belongs to you, that was meant for you specifically, not for someone else. That's the only way. So what will be helpful for people to know is 3 ways of wayfinding. So I mentioned that the first one is finding their ways through the resonance of their body. And let me give you an example, because this is how I find my own way, because I belong to this type of wayfinders, because there's like 3 types of wayfinders. So, and I belong to this type of wayfinders. When I see an opportunity, if my body starts resonating and inside I feel like, hell yes, that's how my body tells me this is the right thing to do right now. Okay. And the way I find my way is by colliding with reality as much as I can, until some parts of reality resonate so much that my body tells me, yes, yes, hell yes, that's it. Okay? So that's one way. Then there is another type of wayfinders, and they need other people to find the way. So their strategy is supposed to be through other people, not through colliding with reality itself. I'll give you a good example how, like, one of my best friends, he is this way. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Many years ago, I lived in Taiwan, and back then, bubble tea was not really popular yet. And as I was drinking this bubble tea, my whole body was resonating, and I'm like, yes, this is the product I need to bring, to like back to the West. Like not back to the West, just to the West. Like this is the product I need to bring there because it's so good. Like my whole body was resonating. So I was colliding and trying the reality. And then I knew this is an awesome product. I knew it will work out really well. So a friend of mine, when he goes or experiences things like that, he doesn't really care. He doesn't feel anything. He looks at an incredible piece of jewelry and he's like, yeah, cool. But he doesn't feel like, oh, I need to do something like that. Or like he doesn't feel that at all. However, when I come to him and I say, his name is Eugene, and I say, hey, Eugene, you remember I tried that bubble tea? I think that's going to work really well if we take it to the market. And then if I tell him, would you like to join me in that adventure? And if he feels yes, based on that conversation, that's his wayfinding. This is his type of wayfinding through other people he trusts.
Russ, yeah. Wow.
Okay. So, and you need to know what type you are, because I don't really care about other people, inviting me and offering me like some things or telling me to think about something. I need to collide with the reality itself, not with people and conversing with them.
Exactly.
Okay?
You just know it's an innate something inner thing. Wow. I want to expand on this again on another episode with you, because I know we're at that time we have to close the show out, and I want to make sure we expand because I want to go in more into that because I think what you bring about the Wayfinder versus is so valuable that I don't think some people have not heard that, and so we definitely got to do that. So what I want to do is I want to give you the opportunity to have people get in contact with you so that maybe now they can find out more about that. And also when the next episode, when we have you back on, we can piggyback and, where we left off here and carry forward. First of all, I want to thank you for being on our show here today. Just valuable insights. I learned a lot. I thought I knew a lot about bullseye, and I'm like, wow, that was powerful. How can the audience get in touch with you, and anything else final like you would like to lead with that?
Yeah, I mean, the best way is to follow me on Instagram, Misha Saidov Official. That's my handle. We don't sell anything. We don't offer anything. So the best way is just to follow my work. Either read my books on Amazon, authored by myself, Misha Saidov. I would suggest starting with Conversations That Change Lives, or just follow me on Instagram, and my team actually keeps it updated every day.
And we'll make sure everybody, all that information for Misha will be in the show notes. So that all that information. So we encourage everybody to reach out. This was really great insight. Now, when you get a better understanding of how you approach things, based upon who you are, this can give you more clarity and focus. So we highly encourage you to reach out to Misha, also to his team, get your hand on his books, because this is really, really great insight. Misha, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here today. Just valuable information, and we will definitely have you back for round 2 to continue where we left off on this particular topic.
Yeah, we got to talk about the third type of the Wayfinder, so we can pick it up next time. Thank you so much, Christopher. Thank you for the invitation. It was great talking to you.
Appreciate it. And listeners, we want to thank you each and every week joining us here at Sustainable Success. We are committed to bringing in subject matter experts like Misha in to share their words of wisdom and insights to help elevate you and your business to the next level. Till then, everybody, we'll be back next Friday at 12 noon East Coast time, 30 minutes from 12 to 12:30. That's 9 to 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. Till then, everybody, have a great rest of your day and weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Take care.